Look,
man.
I told this story forever, and it was my brother Steve talked me into. I was on a loop with him. He was just beating me up every night, and beating me up a little bit too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it
Yeah,
was.
he was stiff as
Yeah,
hell.
yeah.
But
If
you know what's funny?
tell the
He had
story,
to
and then
bump
I'll
me. He had to bump me several times and was light as a feather.
I'll be
Never
there.
one. So he could be light if he
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yes, that's
But
exactly what. So I told my brother Steve, and Steve had Japan experience, and he said,
hit him
"What's
back.
what? Yeah, what's it gonna? What's he? He's already beating your. What you may as well tater him a couple of times too.
Yeah.
Get yours in." And it made me
Yeah.
think like. He
Yeah.
is beating me up. He's going to beat me up anyway. So he got me
Yeah.
in the corner, beating me up, and I spun out from under, and I hit him in the head about 6 times, safe, but
Yeah.
hard as I
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
with my hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
Bam. Yeah.
just backed up 3 or 4 good ones. I backed away, and I just thought, all right, let's see what happens
Here we go.
And he circled around and said, all right, here we go. Well, and we started talking, and we started working, and we started having matches, and we had some good ones. And I
Yeah.
was just the real Double J, a little baby face young kid that didn't know no better. And all of a sudden, we were having decent matches. You know what I mean? It was second match on the card or something, squash match. Vader kills me, but hey, give me a little something and we can make a match out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you doing that is what separated you from the enhancement guys. That's what meant that you having that in you is what.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna die. You know what I mean? I was willing to die, but I knew I knew Stan Hansen took one eye. I was gonna get that other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a big scary dude. Scary dude. One more story about how we survived, and then I'm just going to pray until I fall asleep tonight and thank God for all the time. And this is just with you. If I have another podcast with X-Pac, it'll be...
Oh, boy. Great guy, man.
But
Great
so,
guy.
Yeah, for sure. So this is another story where Midian, rewind a little bit.
Was he naked yet?
He was not naked Midian at this time.
No,
he
not
was
naked.
he was Tex Slazenger,
Oh.
with Tex Slazenger and Shanghai Pierce.
Yeah.
Did they have a tag name or was they just that?
I
think they were
forgot
just
what
that, right?
they had a tag name, but I forgot what it was. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, but I remember their individual names more than the tag name.
Yeah. So he was Tex Slazenger at the time, and so Brad, my brother Brad, had gotten
Godwins?
Yes, it's those two guys, the Godwins, Phineas Godwin.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
this is their WCW run. So Brad had
Southern
gotten,
Justice? Was that them?
If you interrupt me one more time,
I was trying to get you a name.
they
All
were
right, go ahead.
Southern. They were Southern Justice. They were the Godwins, but I don't know.
This was after that?
No, this was before that.
Before.
Oh, okay.
Before.
Yeah, so this is
when
way
they were
back.
done in WCW. Yeah.
And Brad had got some liquid acid, and so we were gonna put. We did put liquid acid.
That's what they needed, right?
We weren't gonna do anything. What we did was put drops of acid on sweet tarts, and we thought it would be funny to eat sweet tarts with acid on them. So we did that for a minute, and like nothing was happening. It was like, this stuff's bunk. Like Brad wasted his money on this stuff. We ended up taking like way more than we should have.
A lot of sweet tarts.
And then it started kicking in.
Yeah, in the process, we got invited to Nick's house for a fish fry. And it was all the fish we had caught going fishing, and they had prepared it, and his wife's going to cook it. His wife, bless her heart, man, she put up with a lot. So we're driving down there to go to Nick's house, and while we're driving down there, it starts kicking in. It starts like, holy crap, I hope we make it to Nick's house. We're freaking out. And so we get there, and we can't eat a bite of food because we're freaking out, me and Midian. Then his wife started, she's like, if they're not going to eat all this food I prepared, at least I'm going to mess with them. She was turning the lights on and off and coming in with mask on and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the mask was great, man.
Yeah,
we come to a point in time where they wanted to try, if they could get it to plane out a little bit, they wanted to go and smoke one. So I said, hell yeah, I'll smoke one. I'll smoke one anytime. So we took off. We went on out to the garage. and I hooked one up, and we're standing there, and we lit it. We're talking at him and Tex Lassiter. They're sitting there, they're giggling, and we're laughing and talking. Well, we had a Halloween pay-per-view at WCW just a month or so before that, and they put out these glow-in-the-dark Jason masks on all the seats.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of airsport. So I grabbed a couple of them. I had a few at the house. So Cheryl went and got one of those damn glow-in-the-dark Jason masks. And she slipped out at the front door, and she went around. And I had carport doors or garage doors that had windows at the time before I got my new ones. And she come up there, and she looked up in that window, and she went, bam, 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 bam. She beat on that thing about 4 times. And I'll be damned if Brian and Tex didn't look like Shaggy and Scooby-Doo jumping into each other's arms, going, and I mean, there she stood with that chair. It got me a little bit, but I hadn't been so mellow. I just kind of started giggling, but their reaction was priceless, man. They literally looked like Shaggy and Scooby jumping into each other's arms.
Then she started flipping the light on, and all I remember was thinking, I'm gonna die.
I'll never make it out of this damn garage.
No, we're in Saul's garage. Like
Nick, when they showed up, did you know what they were doing, or did they tell you?
They told me when they got there. It's like, okay, so I had to eat triple time, man. So I was eating,
fish.
Man. Oh man, I ate too, man.
We used to go down to Mr. Donnie's.
Yeah.
Uncle Donnie's or Mr. Donnie?
Yeah, he's still around too, Mr. Donnie.
Is he really?
What is Mr. Donnie?
I'll be darned. Well,
he used to manage a little bit. He was a biker guy.
He was a friend. Yeah, he was a biker dude that ended up managing in some local stuff.
Yeah.
It was just a good dude that lived down on a little pond, and we would fish out there all the time.
I had that Rottweiler I got he had a Rottweiler too.
Yeah.
And he bred it, and one of his puppies was my dog that I ended up
really?
Yeah. So I took, I'll tell you Donnie's story, it's a good one. I took JYD out there fishing at the big pond in the backyard. And Donnie at the time had this little rickety screen door on his back door going out to the back. You could just push it, So Thor was a 150, 160 pound Rottweiler with a head that looked like a cinder block. Man. He was big, and when he barked, it sounded like a friggin' foghorn, man. He looked out. Thor goes walking up to that old screen door that was just barely hanging on there at the time, and he looked down there at the lake, and Thor hadn't seen a lot of people of color, And he looked down there, and he seen me, but he would bark at me still, if I wasn't I was with Donnie. He looked down there at that lake, and I saw him buckle up, and his head got all wrinkled up, and all of a sudden he went, like
and here he comes.
JYD's eyes. Now JY couldn't swim a lick, right?
Yeah.
But in just that instant, and he was so fast and so strong that he just grabbed me and away from my fishing pole, like placed me in between him and where the dog would be coming. And he just looks at me and says, "Nick, I can't swim a lick, but if that big goddamn dog comes out that door, my jumping in the lake.
I'm going in the river."
I'm right, man.
Oh my Lord! Hey, everybody's been to Uncle Donnie's.
Oh yeah, that same day it was so funny. The dog mellowed out, man, and we saw some snakes swimming in the damn pond, kind of around to the left, wasn't close to us. I said, "Look, dog, there's some damn snakes." He went, "Oh." He don't like no damn snakes, right? So we're fishing. Right, there's a real steep hill, and the people next door to us had a dock. Yeah. And we walked down a steep hill, and there was like about 2 or 3 feet of shore that you could stand on at the bottom of this hill and fish and go around their dock and catch all kind of shit, man. Yeah. And they'd feed brim down there, and their brim got big old hand-sized brim. So we're down there, and we're catching brim like crazy. We hadn't caught any. We're catching brim hand over fist, and Doug, "Hey, look, watch it, Nick." And he cast it out like about just 2 feet out, just barely out. I go, "What is? I'm going to get one." And it was the damnedest thing. This little turtle comes swimming up, and the turtle poked his head up out of the water, and Dog thought it was one of them damn snakes. He was up that in 2 steps. This 350-pound man was up this huge embankment. It was an embankment that I had to run and take about 7 or 8 running steps to get up. In 2 steps, he was at the top of that.
Lord.
That turtle popped his head up out of the water.
Fear is a great motivator.
Yeah, I know. I never knew how fast he could run.